Hello there, wrestling fans! Welcome to the internationally known Dudes at Ringside podcast. I am your host, Joe the Panther Jr. And now, introducing to the mic, my partner in crime on this atmospheric, internationally known podcast, the Happy Heel himself, the man.
What's going on, Ringside Crew? What's going on, internationally known? What's going on, another galaxy far away?
Wow.
But, yeah, you forgot one more.
What's that?
We're now known across the stars now.
Across the stars. I'm going to have some cute nerds, little alien nerds with red glasses running around and little ones running around with multiple arms running around saying, I like Metal Geek. I like Joe the Panther. Fighting different arms. So, Kate, you ready to introduce our lovely guest?
Yeah, go ahead.
This young lady's known across the galaxy and around the stars. Oh, yeah. Let's give a warm Dudes at Ringside welcome up above us in the galaxy far, far away to Rylee Rockett.
Hi.
I guess this is the third time's the charm now, right?
Yeah, I know.
Welcome, Rylee. Welcome to Dudes at Ringside podcast.
I guess you're having space station problems, right? At the International Station, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So welcome. This is our favorite little thing that we do after work, like our fun little getaway, and yeah. So my if our fans are not familiar with you, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Rylee Rockett. I am a professional wrestler. I have been wrestling for 2.5 years. I am trained by the WWE Hall of Famer Ricky Morton.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
That made my old school heart hitter even harder. I'm like the old school fun guy on the show that, as a geek likes to make fun of me, I'm like Grandpa Joe sitting on the bench talking about old school wrestling.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My first question is, what is it like getting trained by an absolute like goat of the goat of the tag team world?
Oh my God! So another fellow wrestler. He wants to fight her now.
Oh geez, we got Tamaku from Texas.
He wants to fight her. She's trained by Ricky Morton, so you better be careful, Tamaku.
You may get the Canadian Destroyer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows that now, right?
Yeah.
What was it like being trained by Ricky Morton?
It's awesome. I mean, of course, you know, he's a WWE Hall of Famer, and he is old school, so he's a lot harder on us. I was the only girl that's been trained by Ricky himself.
Wow.
So it's just it's this huge respect thing too. Like I when I first met him, I didn't really know who he was. I grew up watching him, but at the same time I was like, are you sure I know who you are? Because he wasn't with Robert. He was just by himself at School of Morton. So I was like, oh, you know, who are you? And then we sat down, and, you know, every training session, we do what we're supposed to do, and we just listen to him talk, and we just listen to everything that he's been through and just different things that he can and can't teach us. And it's amazing. It really, truly is. It's a lot of pressure, too. It's a lot of pressure.
I can imagine, like, with a legend like him, like a goat like him, it must be like hard to be like, he asked you to grapple like this, and you do like this, and he's like, no, it's like this, and this. You know what I mean? Like, so many different like styles, because the man still could go. He could still go in the ring.
I just saw him recently, like 2 years ago. He was wrestling in New Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's been on AEW a lot recently.
So yeah, that too. Mm-hmm. So he's everywhere, you know.
Yeah.
He still can do a Canadian destroyer. Geek was telling me, I'm like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what? As soon as I saw that, I'm like, Ricky Morton? I'm like, doing Canadian destroyer? He still got it in the ring. So
Yeah, 64 years old doing Canadians off the apron onto like what? It doesn't make sense to me.
I'm like, what year is it right now?
Right? Yeah. It's
Did
like,
you tell him?
I want to do that when I'm 64.
I'll be sitting at the door being a greeter again.
Right?
I was a greeter for 8 years at Walmart. I'll be back at the door at 64. I'll be like, I'm back. Yeah. Your turn, Geek. I can't talk the whole time.
Yeah, I was watching some of your matches actually, and some of your matches I've noticed you take a beating, right? So like kind of like how Ricky Morton does in his matches. So is that something you want to pay tribute to, or is that something he taught you?
It's definitely something I want to pay tribute to because he's the best seller and the best babyface in the entire business.
Mhm.
And I want people to look at me and be like, oh, that's the female Ricky Morton when it comes to selling and ring work and everything.
Yeah.
So how many different outfits do you have? Because I was watching one that you had like the black shirt and the tights, and then you have the white outfit I saw with the fluffy shoulders. I guess that must have been your new outfit.
Actually, no, that was for a special show against. It was I think it was called Battle of the Sexes, and that was a huge event between me and my opponent Dylan McQueen, because that was our third time wrestling, and it was kind of like third time's the charm, and it was this huge show. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go full out, and I decided to wear that white outfit. But my usual gear is just the blue galaxy top with some black bottoms, and I also have my robe that I come out with as well. But the black on black is something that I'm doing exclusively for SOM right now. Yeah.
I saw that. I was watching it on YouTube. You guys definitely should check out the YouTube channel. There's tons of good matches on it. Like Rylee Rockett. There's like so many like great talent in your promotion. I'm just like, wow. Oh my! I was blown away.
Yeah.
A little East Coast wrestling fan like me, old school. I'm watching this stuff. I'm like, there's so many Rylee Rockett. There's McQueen, and there's this. We're also having Meg. She's part of McQueen. She's part of McQueen's stable. Megan.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't think of the other half. I know it's Meg. She has pink hair, like short, like a crew cut kind of thing hairstyle.
Yeah.
Can't think of her last. I know it's Meg. She's coming on the end of this month. So is one of your rivals. So is Trixie.
Yeah.
We get around with our guests. We get around the world and the galaxy.
The galaxy apparently now is the galaxy, right? Far away.
Yeah.
That you sent me that promo. At first I watched it, and then your voice did that weird thing, and I was like, was that supposed to be part of it? And then I thought, oh my God, she must have made her voice do that in the promo. But then I was like, no, but it made it even sound cooler. It made it cooler because like a weird distortion in the voice when you started talking, and then it went away, and I was like, I'm not asking her to do it again because I don't even mean, and because it sounded cool because it sounded like a space age thing. It did with the voice.
Good.
And I was like, yeah, she probably could beat me up, and I don't hit women, so I'd be the guy that goes, nah, we're good, as you're pulling me by the back of my shirt. Give me a Canadian destroyer.
Okay. Let's go.
All right, you next, Geek.
Yeah, I actually have a question from the audience. It's like, well, who got you into wrestling?
I grew up watching wrestling, so I think part of me always wanted to be a professional wrestler, but I blew it off because I was like, no, I'm a girl. That's a guy's sport. I'm going to grow up and be a Disney princess. So, and then I actually moved to Tennessee about 4 years ago, and I met Kerry Morton, who is Ricky Morton's son. I actually met him at a fashion show, and he told me all about his dad and about his dad's wrestling school. And I had no idea that I knew who Ricky was. So I went home and I told my mom and dad, I was like, hey, you know, I met this guy named Kerry Morton, and he's the son of Ricky Morton from the Rock and Roll Express. And my dad started like freaking out. He's like,
Wow.
what do you mean the Rock and Roll Express and blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, yeah, they've got a local promotion around here, and I think it would be really cool if we went to go watch. So we went for like 4 months and just started watching, and then it actually hit me, and I was like, wow, this is something I want to do. And it's not every day that, you know, how I was like 16 going on 17. It's not every day that a 16-year-old girl wants to be a professional wrestler.
Mhm.
So I was like, okay, this is something I want to do. I've been, you know, and I've been doing it ever since. My parents are like, okay, we can help pay for you until you're 18, and then once you turn 18, you got to do it yourself. So ever since then, I've been going.
Mm.
Do you have any stories from the ring, or
Do you mean like during training or during
yeah,
matches?
Training,
matches,
matches?
matches with Ricky, anything that you could tell.
Yeah, our training is brutal. It's a lot even more brutal now, but we do this deck of cards workout for cardio, usually after we're done actually like training. A deck of cards workout, so each suit is a specific workout, whether that's burpees, mountain climbers, push-ups, and sit-ups. Aces are something specific, and jokers are usually a rest, but we have to go through all 52 cards and just work on our cardio, which is, it's brutal, but you know, I enjoy it. So
Yeah.
But also something that has always stuck with me since I started wrestling, Ricky actually, because me being the only girl, Ricky got in the ring and he told every single guy that was there to treat me as if I'm one of the guys. And they told me, if you're going to get in the ring with her, you have to wrestle her like she's one of the guys, because this is not easy. It's really not. And not every girl wants to be in this business. And he's like, she can keep up with the guys. I know she can. And, you know, ever since then, I've been keeping up with the guys. But that, to me, the fact that a WWE Hall of Famer said to treat me as an equal when I'm in the ring, that just makes me so happy, because I have wrestled guys that, you know, when they're giving me a body slam or something, they just set me down. Or if they're chopping me, it's just a light chop. And I'm just like, I'm in this business too. You can actually hit me, and I'm going to hit you back, but yeah, like, go for it. I'm not in this business, you know, to get the special treatment because I'm a girl.
That was going to be my next question, actually. What was your thoughts on intergender wrestling, like in the business as a whole?
I personally don't mind it. It's definitely, I wrestle both men and women, but men's wrestling and women's wrestling are two totally different things. So I feel like when they're put together, it's beautiful, but it's strange at the same time. There are specific things and certain things that I can do with the guys that I can't do with the girls. If you've noticed, I do a tilt-a-whirl DDT, which I call my orbiter, and I can usually only do that with the guys. Or my springboard X Factor, I can usually only do that with the girls. So I can do that with some of the guys, but there are certain things that I can and cannot do. And a lot of the stories that we can tell are so different too. Like most of the stories that we tell in the ring between a guy and a girl is like the David and Goliath, or, oh no, I'm not going to hurt you. You're a girl. I don't want to fight you. And I'm just like, come on, wrestle me. That's why I'm in this ring. That's why I'm in this business. Let's go. But with girls, it's a lot more intense, believe it or not. Because women's wrestling isn't as big as it should be. It's getting bigger, but people still think that women's wrestling is nothing compared to men's wrestling. So we have to be a lot more intense, and we have to be a lot more willing to tell stories in the ring just to even get noticed by people.
I totally understand that, because a lot of times the guys think they could just push the girls over and like attack them when it's not true, because a lot of the girls could absolutely. There's some girls that I've seen that do like different style wrestling that would absolutely destroy the men. There's a girl that wrestles on the East Coast. She was in AEW. I don't know if you ever heard of Not America's Sweetheart.
She's on Dark.
Davian.
Yeah. She was on AEW Dark.
She's a beast. I watched her on her promotion she does in Boston. She destroys the men. She destroys them.
She beats them.
She beats them. Her finishing move is she knocks them down, and they sit in the corner below the bottom rope, and she does like a sliding drop kick into the rope on them.
That's so cool.
And her punches are stiff.
Yeah, I'm stiff too.
With me,
kind of reminds me of someone we just interviewed. Her name's Amy Crimson. I don't know if you're familiar with her. No.
I'm sure we're following each other on some platform, but I don't know her personally.
Yeah.
She's cool. You ever get a chance to go on there and look up Amy Crimson? She's cool to connect with because she's been in the business for a while, and she was also trained by another
Santino Marella. Look at her face. Her face just dropped.
Yeah.
Wow.
By Santino. So.
That's what?
Yeah, Santino Marella.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, she's good people.
She's from Canada, so.
She's super cool people. Really sweet, and she's cool. She's super cool. You definitely have to connect with her.
Yeah.
It won't be for a while, though, because I think they're on lockdown down there.
They're still on lockdown in Canada.
Yeah.
Canada. She hasn't wrestled. We've been like, when she came on, we fought hard before. We're like, she's like, I don't really have any stories for the ring right now. I haven't been in the ring. We're like, but we talk about everything with her.
That would be a really good match between you and Amy Crimson.
Oh man, that would be a good match. Actually, we're actually gonna have a promotion from Alabama on our podcast.
Okay.
We're having Liberty Pro Wrestling.
Okay, yeah.
So when we get their owner on there, would you mind if I name dropped you?
Yeah, no, I don't mind at all. Name drop away. Name drop away.
Cool, because I know that helps you get your name out there, and they're sort of a big deal, Liberty Pro, apparently. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that at all, because as I said, we're more like, me and Geek are like East Coast wrestling fans, and by when we started this podcast, originally we would just talk about Raws and SmackDowns, and then I invited my friend Damien and Foxy separate dates, and then he said, Mike, should we start inviting wrestlers, real indie wrestlers? Because me and Geek love indie wrestling. Like, we're the type of fans that we don't know you, but we want to learn about your promotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what I do on the show is I'm like the preacher kind of guy that says, help the indies. If you don't know it, learn about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, we didn't know about Liberty Pro until I went on their page and I was like, geez.
So all these people start messaging us. We didn't know anything really, and then we just researched them, and then it's like, wow. And
then I saw you, and I was like, let me ask her. Maybe she accepted. She's podcast. Wow, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, before our mods' heads explodes, do you have any pets? And if you do, we're pet friendly.
I do not, sadly. We actually had to put our dog down about a year ago. I did have a dog, and she was a Bichon Frise, and her name was Abby, and she lived to be about 17 years old.
I'm so sorry for that.
Sorry.
I have 2 wiener dogs. One of my wiener dogs has a brain tumor. Yeah, honey.
Not only does Amy would be a good match, Tamaku wants to wrestle her too in the chat.
But he's a big dude. If you saw what Tamaku looked like, you'd still be like, I could do it. Yeah.
I'll wrestle him.
I'll wrestle anybody and everybody.
You sound like him now. He says, I want to wrestle anybody. I'm like, what about her? It's like, I don't care. Man, woman, I don't care. I'll wrestle everybody. I'm like, okay.
Is there a style match you won't do?
I won't do like hardcore death matches or any matches where I'm supposed to bleed because I feel like, I mean, yeah, I understand women's hardcore match. Like my favorite hardcore women's matches are like the Hell in a Cell with Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks when, you know, Charlotte Flair was throwing Sasha Banks against the cage, or the match between Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch with the chairs and ladders and everything. Like I would love to do that, but anything that involves me bleeding, I don't think I would do. And I wouldn't do customs matches either.
Yeah, Geek gets mad at me, but I'm like totally not a fan. I used to be more of like the ECW, the somewhat ECW fan. Yeah, I'm coming in the room watching it. But like the new stuff right now they're doing with the glass and the explosions kind of make me the face you're making. I'm like, eh.
I mean, it's kayfabe, Joe. It's kayfabe.
I know it's kayfabe.
Yeah.
But I kind of get nervous. I'm like, I get being the brother of a nurse. I get like I'm not a fan of this, and then I get nervous for them. Like they could get hurt.
It could go. I get what you're saying. It could go wrong. That's what you're saying. Go
wrong. Someone can get injured. Like have you watched Dark Side of the Ring?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, well, I watched that, and they had a hardcore version of it, and they talked about some injuries that the guys have gotten from glass and stuff like that, and it freaks me out.
Right. Yeah. I actually, when I met Mick Foley, I asked him about that, and he told me he does not recommend that. He doesn't wish that upon his worst enemy. He goes, what I put my body through, nobody should ever put their body through that. And I agree to an extent because I am I'm an adrenaline junkie and I want to bump on Legos and I want to bump on thumbtacks. I want to get my dream, for my 18th or for my 19th birthday, I wanted to get powerbombed through a table. Like that was my birthday wish, was to be powerbombed through a table.
We had a guy.
It didn't happen, but I want to go through a table so bad.
Yeah, we had a guy on our last show. He was really giving it to Joe. His name is Marco Mania.
He was a hero. Part of a tag in California called Money, Power, Respect. He was telling me he wants to throw me through a table the whole show.
And it's like, and then he's like, and then Joe's like, I'm not a trained wrestler.
I'm not trained.
It's like, it's okay. Just tuck your chin in. You'll be fine.
I'm the face on the show, so you take my side, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't recommend getting in the ring unless you're trained or getting thrown through a table, because there's specific ways for you to land to where you're gonna get hurt, of course, but like there's ways to train yourself to not get as hurt to where you're like you've got like broken bones or you have to go to the hospital or anything. So I definitely recommend being a trained wrestler before any of that happens.
Yeah.
He said, just tuck your chin in. You'll be fine.
Yes.
And then Geek will be the one calling. He's like, excuse me, 911. I think my friend's about to go through a table. You might want to come over here in like 10 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Geek is the type of friend that, like, if he knows someone's going to push 9-1 as he's walking and goes, 1. 911 emergency, my friend, I think, needs you. He's the friend that walks through a neighborhood pushing 9-1. And then we get to the next end of the neighborhood, he'll push end.
I love that.
That's Geek. That's Geek for you. There you go. Another question
What's your finishing move?
What is my finishing move? I have 4 finishing moves.
Wow. 4?
Yeah. 4. Yep. Mm-hmm. I have, and some of them I use as false finishing moves too. So then that way I don't bury the finish every single match. And I try to mix it up. It just depends on who I'm wrestling and if they can take certain things.
Uh-huh.
I do the Code Red, which is the standing Canadian. And then I have my Orbiter. And then I have my Springboard X Factor. And I have my Code Breaker, which I actually use the most.
You should try throwing the Canadian Destroyer, I guess, for Ricky Morton.
I should.
As a tribute right there.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's been doing Canadian destroyers though. A lot of people, but the fact that he's doing it's just amazing.
Yeah. But that's why I try not to do Canadians. Even with, even if I am wrestling a bigger dude and I know they can take it, I try not to do Canadians because everybody's doing Canadians or everybody's doing DDTs. And so that's why I'm just sticking with the code breaker, because not very many people do that. And I try to compare my code breaker to, it's like in between Chris Jericho and Tessa Blanchard. So
I've noticed that in your matches, you've been using the code breaker a lot in a lot of your matches. So
yeah,
I think that's when you wrestled. What was her name? Kale, I think.
Who?
It was the girl with the blonde hair.
Ellie.
Yeah, Ellie. That's it. Yeah. That was a good match, though.
Do you have any funny stories from the fans?
Oh. I mean, yes, I have, apparently I have 3 boyfriends and they're all 6 years old. And then, I mean, I guess that's a funny story, but I mean, I'm not sure.
I mean, like, have they ever given you anything like a toy? Anybody's ever made like a toy to you or like that?
Yes, I actually have it right here.
Okay.
I haven't taken it out of the package yet, but somebody made me. Oh, where's it at? Somebody made me as a doll.
Oh wow!
So cool.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's the coolest thing ever. It's so
cool.
Sweet. I was like, oh my gosh.
Do you have any merch?
I do.
Where do you have any of your t-shirts? Like you could plug them right now.
You can plug anything.
I usually just sell I'm trying to get a pro wrestling tees. I had one, but then everything got changed at SOM, so I don't have one anymore. But I usually just sell my merch in the store or at the shows. But if anybody's ever interested, they can always message me, and I would be more than willing to send them a price and, for shipping and everything.
Do you have stickers?
I used to. Oh. We literally just ran out. We ran out of stickers and we ran out of cups. But we have bracelets and t-shirts, and we have Star Crown headbands. We had these little backpacks that had my logo on them. I have posters. I've got 8x10s, 4x6s, 5x7s.
I was gonna say if you had the stickers, we could do a sticker trade, but you ran out of stickers.
I can make some more.
If you do, let us know. Do you have the stickers in front of you? You have the stickers in front of you, Geek?
Oh yeah, I do.
Show her the sticker. Those are the stickers.
Wrong way. There we go.
Those are so cool.
Well, we have to save you one because we're going to a wrestling show next. Me and Geek are going to a wrestling show next Saturday, and we're going to 2 wrestling shows on Long Island.
So we'll hand out stickers.
Yes, we'll be handing out stickers. I'll have to take one and put one to the side for you because I'm sending one to a girl from Australia.
That's so cool.
Yes. Yeah. We get guests all over the world on our podcast and the universe.
And the universe too. Don't forget the universe and different planets and everything.
I don't want her to have Indian friends say galaxy. Go to that Pennsylvania house on the little dot. You say they go. Not gonna. Joe disappears off. Gray hand appears out of nowhere off set. What the?
What planet is Rylee Rockett from anyway?
What planet? Yeah. I'm not from any specific planet. No? I'm from all over the galaxy.
All over the galaxy, right?
All over the galaxy.
Gotcha.
So where did you get the inspirations for your character from?
Well, funny story. There was this song by a Christian rock group named Skillet. There's this song called Feel Invincible, and there's a lyric that goes, shot like a rocket up into the sky, nothing can stop me tonight. And on my way to training, my mom and I, it was I think 5 months into my training, my mom and I were heading to training, and I was like, oh, this is, I could use that. And she's like, well, how about Rocket Rylee? And I was like, how about Rylee Rockett? And then it just stuck ever since.
That's kind of like the story with us, kind of.
That's like the dudes at ringside story, but
we flipped it. It's like ringside dudes, and we're like,
he's like flipping.
Dudes at ringside.
Our name Rylee was so funny because we had so many like name interpretations of dudes at ringside. We were the original name was Ring Rats, and we had to change that because we found out. Yeah, exactly. Yep. I felt like Stewie in the corner rocking back and forth. Oh my god! I found out and went on Google, and I was like,
yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
Artist, I was like, don't draw that. And then we were supposed to be what was it? What was it again? He was like
Time Machine. Wrestling
Time Machine. Because I'm like the Doc Brown of the show, the old school, and Lance is like geeky. Yeah, the new. He's like Marty. He's the
New Japan, AEW. So
Here we go. Would you ever wrestle in a different country?
Oh yeah.
What country would you like? Would you love to go to?
Definitely Mexico. I am like obsessed with Spanish culture and the language and the Spanish style wrestling, like lucha, like what? Like I watched everything like Lucha Underground, and I'm just like, I want to do that. I want to do that so bad.
Well, there's another female wrestler to connect with. Her name is Charisma.
Okay.
She's a super.
She's from California.
She's in California, Rylee. She is a sweetheart. Oh my god. You have to go on. I'll send you her link to her Instagram when the show is over on the Dude's Ed page. Just sweetheart. I know she would take you under her wing if you ever went to California to go wrestle. She would like, come here. Like her outfit is amazing with the little pink and the spikes and oh my god. Oh my brother.
Yes.
Yeah. We can connect you with other female wrestlers to talk to. Trust me, we're that.
Please.
Our podcast, Geek got mad at me at first, but in getting in touch with all the female wrestlers, I'm like, I give all you female wrestlers so much credit because in the ring, a lot of times the male wrestlers don't want to do what you guys want to do, but I feel you guys do a better match than the men.
We try. I mean, ultimately, I think our goal is to outshine them, but right now we're just trying to keep up with them. Yeah. And I think we're doing a really good job at keeping up with them.
And also, you guys answer us the female wrestlers. I told this. The female wrestlers answer us faster than the men. Yeah. The guys are just like, the guy's ego.
Do I really want to go on their podcast? How many views do they have? Right? So
guys out to hear the girls are just like, dudes at ringside. Let's see what they're all about. Oh, they seem like nice guys. Okay, let's do this. Date time. Okay, we love everybody. We're actually having two people that are transgender coming on our podcast. One in I think September, Geek,
November,
and I think one in October.
No, it's November, dude.
One in November and one in I think September or October. We love everybody here. We don't care. We just feel if you're doing something that we love, like professional wrestling, you're part of the ringside crew.
Yeah. Is there a planet you would love to visit?
Probably Pluto, because it's underrated. Yeah. And it's small, and I'm really small, so it just makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Me too. I'm 5'1", so short people high five. Yeah.
Yes. I'm 5'2", so I mean,
a foot taller than me. I'm a little. If we ever for some reason bumped into you, you're gonna be like, "There's Joe." Wow, you're really short. Oh, you're like tall. You're like almost my height. Yeah. So So what is, if you have to pick your favorite food, what would be your favorite food?
Oh, anything Mexican food, like
Ooh.
tacos. I'm I don't know if I'm how to word it. Okay, I'm a picky eater. Within reason, I should say. I don't eat red meat. It's not like a religious thing or anything, but like I don't eat red meat. I'm not a huge fan. Probably because I grew up eating red meat because my dad's like the manly man. He's like, you have to eat steak, you have to eat burgers, and blah blah blah. I'm not a huge meat eater. I eat like chicken and turkey, and I can't have dairy. I actually found out I'm allergic to dairy
Uh-oh.
just recently, so that sucks. But yeah, anything Mexican food like burrito bowls and burritos and just making my own tacos and everything. I love Mexican food.
There's a Mexican restaurant that when I was with my brother and sister in the city, we randomly walked past it, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you on the Dudes That page. My grandfather was a professional wrestler in the 50s and 60s named Jose Quinones. There's a Mexican restaurant called Luchador in the city. It's like lucha masks and everything. So I'll have to find out. I'll look at the picture again, look at the name, and I'll text it to you on Dudes at Ringside page. If you're ever in New York City, you're gonna have to search this place out. It's by the seaport.
Yes, there's a place in North Carolina I actually went to before I went to this promotion called American Lucha, but it's a lucha like ice cream place. It's if you look at my Instagram, I post some photos about it, but it's like an actual luchador ice cream place. And they have a bunch of different masks. They have like a real Rey Mysterio mask there. They have the authentic, real mask from Nacho Libre that Jack Black wore in the movie. Yeah, and they've got a whole entire wall that's just full of, not just luchadors, but most of them are luchadors, but this whole wall that's just full of old school wrestlers. There's a bunch with Ric Flair, and then there's The Rock, there's Edge, there's Randy Orton, there's Prince Puma, there's Pentagon and Phoenix. There's Luchasaurus. It's so cool.
You didn't give him yours? I would have been like,
no.
I would have like. I guess
it should be like I'm trained by Ricky Morton.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's just me. I guess I'd be like, I'm a wrestler. Here's my dad. You got a picture?
Right.
Here.
Yeah.
Be like, who are you? Be like, I'm a wrestler.
They'll be like, who are you? I'll be like, you'll see.
You'll see.
You'll see.
See, this is why I told Geek, I said that I'm so, like, when he's like, are you sure? Because he does this immersion every time. Wait, here we go. I got another question. No more rambling for Joe.
Where is it located? He wants to know.
It is in Burlington, North Carolina. Greensboro, North Carolina. Sorry.
Oh, you got corrected. Is Siri in the background?
Who's your ultimate dream match, you'd say?
My ultimate dream match.
It could be man or woman. Doesn't matter.
For woman, Sasha Banks.
What about man?
AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. That would be awesome, to be honest with you.
I know.
Well, yeah.
I love New Japan, and like my ultimate goal, if I don't get signed to Impact or anything, is to be the very first female, like actual female wrestler in the Bullet Club. I actually know Chase Owens. Chase Owens was trained by Ricky Morton, so I know him, and I've met him, and I've trained with him a few times. So yeah, but that's like my ultimate goal, is to be the very first female wrestler in New Japan.
If you ever make it into the New Japan, we would love to have you back on. And if you make it into the Bullet Club, I have an idea for your shirt. I have an idea. The Star Club.
The Star Club.
Write that down in a notebook somewhere in your thing. So
or the Rocket Club. The Rocket Club.
I'm writing it down right now.
Star Club.
Star Club.
I thought the Rocket Club would be cool.
Rocket Club.
Galaxy Club.
Joe says Star Club. Geek says, "Oh, here we go."
Let's see which one makes it, right?
Geek, imagine First female of the Bullet Club. Boom.
She's writing it down.
I'm literally writing it down. I love that.
Yes.
She's probably writing it down, saying, I'll forget this. Crumble it out. Crumble it out.
I got John Panther, such a loser. Can't even keep up with his own name.
I'll come up with my own name.
Right.
These guys.
Then the alien is better, like you said it. This GPS. Go here. Wake up like, Dad, get the gun.
Yeah. Have you been keeping up on New Japan lately, or?
Not too much. I don't watch it very much. After a bunch of people left.
Yeah.
After Kenny Omega left, I love Kenny Omega. I'm not like in love with him, but I love him. And I actually got to meet him. I'm a Swingerella on Impact, so I'm like part of Johnny Swinger's club or whatever. So I actually got to meet Kenny Omega, and it was like the hardest thing for me to not mark out. Like that was the hardest thing for me since I've been a wrestler. That just not being like, it's crazy.
He's got the greatest match in the world, and probably
Greatest match in the world.
I'm saying Kenny.
Oh yeah.
With Okada, that in 20, 30 years, you're gonna compare that match to probably Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat.
Oh yeah, I love Ricky Steamboat. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Have you got a chance to meet him yet? Geek did.
I met him. He's he's like the nicest guy I've ever met.
You're so
like
lucky.
He gave me 2 autographs. He didn't need to do that. Like I told him, I'm like, would you sign my DVD? He's like, I'm gonna give you a personalized photo too.
That's so cool.
You know?
No, I've only met a handful of like Hall of Famers. I haven't met a ton. I've been wrestling with Ricky for 2.5 years and still haven't met Robert Gibson. So I mean,
why?
Yeah.
What? Yeah,
it's hard to believe, but I have not met Robert Gibson yet.
You should be like, Ricky, when are we gonna meet Robert?
Yeah. Well, he's actually gonna be. We're doing a fair show. In the next few weeks, and Robert will be there. So that's like the first time I get to meet him. So I'm excited, but everybody said that he's like.
You should tell him about us. We'd be absolutely honored to have them on our podcast because we're honored to have you because you're an up and comer and we love the young wrestlers. That's like
future legend right there.
You're future legend right here, Rylee. We're calling it. You're going to Impact. You're going to be an Impact girl or even AAA. Either AAA or if you make it to AAA, I swear I'm going to be on there one day on the website and be like, oh my God, Lance, when's Rockets? I'm AAA.
Our buddy's jealous you met Kenny.
Yeah.
Was he cool or was he like?
He was really cool. He's super quiet. I mean, he's the type. He's very focused, and when if he's ever going over matches or anything, he's focused and he's super quiet and very humble, and I love that. I really do. I mean, I didn't really get to like talk to him a ton because he was doing his thing and I was filming segments, but I didn't. But I did get to talk a little bit to him, so
that's cool. Did you get any like advice out of him, like from the ring or anything?
No, because I knew if I would have asked him any more questions, I would have started bawling because I study his matches. So I would have started marking out.
Not just that, not those matches with Okada. All of his matches in Japan were legendary. You know?
Yeah.
Did you see his last match or in Japan or with Tanahashi? No, that was another great one.
Okay, I'll have to look that one up.
So, any of the other legends you've met, did you take anything from them? Like any like advice for the ring?
I did. I met Mick Foley, and he gave me the best advice ever. He told me to tuck my head. That's what he said. He said, "Tuck your head."
Yeah, Mick Foley lives in our town, so.
Yeah. I met Sergeant Slaughter, and he told me to just have fun and enjoy it while I can, because one day I'm gonna wake up and it's not gonna be there.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. Who else? I met Boogie Woogie, Jimmy Valiant.
Oh, wow.
He's the one. When I actually stopped, when I started training, I was managing people because I wasn't ready to wrestle yet. So I was managing this person named Romeo Rodriguez, and I was like the salsa dancer named Karina, and Boogie Woogie was actually my grandfather's favorite wrestler of all time, and he's the one that got to announce me as Rylee Rockett. And that was an emotional night for my whole family, because they were like, oh my gosh, your grandfather's favorite wrestler got to introduce you as Rylee Rockett. Like, that's a huge deal. But yeah, I also met Kelly Kelly. I grew up watching Kelly Kelly. I was born in 2002, so that's like the very end of the Attitude Era, when the girls actually started to stop doing bra and panties matches, or like, all that jazz. Like, that was the Trish Stratus, Kelly Kelly, Michelle McCool, Lita. It was that era. So I grew up, and Kelly Kelly was my favorite wrestler for the longest time, and I actually got to meet her. But when I met her, I told myself, I was like, I'm not gonna cry. I'm just, I'm not gonna cry, because that's not okay. Everybody cries when they meet her. So I was like, oh, she's not going to remember me. I'm not going to cry, because everybody cries. I ended up bawling like an absolute baby. Ricky Morton, actually, because he knew that Kelly Kelly was my favorite, he went over to Kelly Kelly's table and told her how much of a fan I am of her. And she's like, well, why don't you bring her over? And Ricky introduced me to Kelly Kelly.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. Do you collect anything?
I do. I collect a bunch. Like, are you talking about wrestling wise, or just
like in anything? Like collecting?
Yeah. I collect a lot of pop figures, and I collect a lot of Disney. I'm a huge Disney nerd.
I'm ready.
Here we go, geek. You got it. Here you go. Wait, geek. Show a little bit of your collection.
I have
that.
A bunch.
And by the way, they're not AEW ones; they're New Japan ones. When they were New Japan, there you go.
Now she's gonna look that out when she goes home. Mom.
I'm so jealous. I have a few. Actually, I have quite a bit WWE pop figures. I have the ring that came with The Rock and The Rock and Stone Cold, I think it was. And then I have the set with another Rock and Mankind. I have Eddie Guerrero. I have Chyna. I have Edge. I have Drew McIntyre. I have Otis. I think I have Randy Orton. So
there's a girl that's on the podcast Thursday that actually, she was in a segment with Randy Orton, like on like a WWE segment, like actually during a WWE show.
Extra?
Yeah, she was an extra during a WWE thing backstage. Right? Isn't that amazing? Like,
yeah. Well, the opportunities are just so fantastic. I'm just honored that I have the opportunity to even be on Impact. Like, I'm not fully signed with them, but just to have the opportunity just to be there it's amazing.
Yeah, that's cool. Like, as I said, Rylee, you're gonna definitely be. If you get signed by Impact, we definitely want to have you come back again, and we'll have you talk more about the Impact experience, because there's a lot of wrestlers that are in Impact that we've tried to get, and they haven't messaged us back. Like, we actually are having in September one of the guys from LAX with Hernandez from LA. He's coming on our podcast in September.
We just name dropped it, Joe.
I'm sorry. Well, that's what I do anyway.
No, I mean, like, we didn't promote it yet. You just like announced it on the show just now.
I do that anyway. That's Joe Big Mouth. I'm the Bobby the Brain Heenan of the group. Things just come out. Like, just things come out. That's why I am like the Bobby the Brain Heenan. I do the announcements, and Lance just stands there like under the giant light.
Right.
Yes.
I do geek things.
He does the geek things. I do the talking.
I set up I set up the show and everything, and that's my job. You know?
The brain and I'm the mouth. I'm the hands. I take care of all the fun stuff on the Instagram page. Now he gets involved. When I mess up on a word, he'll write in. I go,
delete.
I'll delete my sentence then. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that's cool. You do the. I collect Ghostbusters stuff. I'm a big Ghostbusters fan.
Okay.
So I have like the Ecto one, I have Egon, I have Slimer and stuff, and I have one WWE one. I have Zack Ryder.
I know him. I don't have his pop figures, but I actually met him a few times at Impact.
I actually met him at the NYWC arena with Kurt Hawkins when they were young.
Before they left.
That was the coolest.
Was it like the woo 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 Zack Ryder?
No.
Long hair.
No, it was actually they were in a stable called the Rat Pack.
I have to get the picture.
Oh, yep.
Back in Long Island. This was a local independent federation back then.
Okay.
He's gonna show you the picture and you're gonna be like, what?
I do this to every wrestler. I have it packed up ready to go for this weekend because I have to bring it with me because they have a title match going on and he kind of jumped and said, I'll do the title match. Can you see it?
Yes. What?
Yep, that's me and the two boys.
That's so cool.
And a geek told me that he on Twitter was saying, "Oh, I'll be in the match," and I was like, I went, "Oh, here we go." We have a question from the audience. Who is your role model?
My role model?
Yeah, I guess. I guess she meant in the ring.
In the ring?
Yeah, I guess maybe she meant in the ring. I don't know if they meant in the ring. Probably.
Yeah. My role model in the ring, probably Bianca Belair.
Hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sasha Banks, but there's just something about Bianca that just.
Yeah.
I admire her.
And
she's a Tennessee gal, so.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a WrestleMania yet?
No. I was going to, but I was actually booked that weekend up here. Otherwise, I would have dropped the booking to go to WrestleMania, but I was like, do I want to wrestle or do I want to watch wrestling? So.
Get your name out there. That's it, right?
Yeah.
What is wait, hold on. Do you have any autographs?
Any wrestlers' autographs? I have Mick Foley's autograph.
Mm-hmm. I met him. I met him at a Ring of Honor show. That's another promotion you should definitely try to look out for. Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I'm trying to go for OVW. I'm really good friends with a lot of I'm good friends with people that are trained by Al Snow, and I'm good friends with people that work at OVW. I've actually wrestled them quite a bit, and I'm gonna be wrestling one on the 29th actually. Her name is Charlie Cruel, so if you ever want to get her on here, her name is Charlie Cruel. But yeah, I'm trying to get to OVW, but I got to get my Kentucky license first.
Yeah, we actually have the coach Al Snow coming on our podcast in November.
That's so cool.
We'll name drop you again. We'll mention
Al Snow.
Okay.
She's good people. She's good people. She's a good kid. I'm old. I feel like I'm old when I say kid, but it's like, I don't know.
You can call me a kid. I'm 19. You can call me a kid. I'm still a kid.
I work with all the kids I work with that more than half of them are your age. So it feels like I feel like Grandpa Joe, Coach Joe, get on his knees. Okay, guys, we're gonna do this. We're gonna get on the truck. You go this way. I'll go that way. You lift that. I'll lift that. We'll all do this. Done. That's what it feels like. I feel like Coach Joe helping out. So yeah, we'll name drop you for Al Snow and the Liberty.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm trying to I don't know. I'm just wrestling, and whatever happens, happens at this point. I'm not
And
trying to.
CPW.
I'm not trying to be like, okay, I have to be on Impact because I'm already on Impact, or I have to be on OVW because I'm buddies with friends that are buddies with Al Snow, and I have to be on WWE because I know such and such from WWE, or I have to be on AEW because I'm friends with. I'm not that person. I'm here to wrestle, and if people see my talent through my wrestling and through my work, I really hope they're interested in me. And I might send people some of my stuff. Like I send some of the Impact wrestlers my matches, and they help me critique. And I am beyond grateful that I have that resource. But I'm not using them to be like, oh, hey, if you like this certain match, do you think you could put a word in for me? I just whenever it happens, it happens. And at this point, that's all I can do is just whenever it happens, it happens.
Yeah. Oh, question from the audience again. Another question.
My favorite match of all time. Oh, that is so hard. Wow.
You got her. You got her.
Yeah.
You got her, Mima Mania.
Oh
You sure it's not Okada versus Kenny Omega?
Yeah. I think. Honestly, it's probably. This is so hard. I have like 5, but I think honestly it's probably Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch.
Which one?
WrestleMania with the weapons match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the singles match instead of the triple threat with Ronda Rousey, just the one with Becky and Charlotte.
Mm-hmm. And which one is your favorite point? Do you have a favorite opponent you like to work with?
A favorite what?
Opponent.
Danny Moe.
Mm-hmm.
She is also on OVW right now, but she is the type of person, I've only wrestled her 3 times, and by our 3rd time wrestling, we called everything in the ring. So if that says anything, that makes me happy, because I'm the type of person, if we do, if we're like, okay, I want to do this in the finish, I have to go over it 15 million times just so I get it. But it makes me happy when I get to work those people that we just do everything in the ring and we feel for each other, because I feel like that tells more of a story than it looking scripted.
Yeah.
You mean it's like, sorry, he says he didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I have a bunch of favorite matches. A lot of them involve like Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair, of course, Randy Orton. I absolutely love Randy Orton. Randy Orton and Edge, whenever they work each other, their feud, even back when. The tag match between the Hardy Boys against Edge and Christian, tables, ladders, and chairs. That's like one of my favorite matches of all time.
Yeah, we had somebody else that was a huge fan of Randy Orton. Who was it? Was that Davian or?
Yeah,
Davian.
Or
was that Kathleen?
Oh no, it was Davian.
Yeah.
Davian even does the DDT off the middle rope. She does the stomp thing. Yeah, she's
okay.
You need to look her up. I don't know. I think you and her would be a good, even though she's bigger than you. I think you and her would be a good match. I think it would be a good match.
You could do the pumping up like Ricky Morton does in your matches. You could take a beating, right?
Yes. No, but I've actually been working on this move. I haven't released it in my matches yet, but it's inspired by Randy Orton. Instead of the middle rope DDT, I do the middle rope X Factor.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
When you finally get that, have your parents or mom, whoever's out ringside, make a video of it and make a clip, and you could send it to us, and we'll post it and unveil it to the our East Coast and / worldly wrestling fans, and show it off for the world.
We're talking about world with a galaxy now.
I'll show it to the galaxy.
We're all over the galaxy. Come on.
We start getting follows from aliens. I don't know how I'm going to feel about a geek.
No, we have to have an intergalactic pizza party now.
Yes.
You're a fan of pizza also?
I can't have the cheese, but
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
I do like pizza.
Non-cheese one. Isn't there like the non-cheese pizza? Isn't there?
Yeah, there's like vegan pizzas, or I could just take the cheese off of the pizza and eat it that way. I'm cool with that too.
You could also have.
Remember, Joe, intergalactic pizza party.
Yeah, we love. I can make it a taco party. She likes tacos. We could have
Yes, there we go.
All right.
a big taco party. I'll bring the hot sauce.
Okay.
Intergalactic
I love
Taco
hot sauce.
Podcast.
There's
right?
a guy we had on our podcast. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. He's He's called the Last Great Manager,
Okay.
and he makes his own hot sauce.
See, I'm trying to master my own hot sauce. I love Tapatio and I love Sriracha and I love Cholula, but I can't master my own hot sauce.
You have
I'm
to grow
trying.
your own peppers. Maybe try to grow your own peppers. in your
Yeah.
house.
I could. I love jalapenos, so I mean, I probably could.
I'm trying to think how they would say your name.
Empanadas.
And some empanadas, yes.
I don't know if you follow me on my regular Instagram page. My mom laughed at me and kind of got mad at me. My dad and mom. I'm half Puerto Rican, and my parents actually made empanadas. And I just posted the picture this morning, even though it was like 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago. My dad made them, and I'm like, I'm gonna post it this morning. And my mom's like, did you post empanadas this morning? I'm like, they were on my phone. I forgot to post it. It's an old picture. Come on. You definitely have to follow me on my plain Instagram. It's Joe Panther Jr. with 2 J's.
Okay.
Yes. You'll see the empanadas.
Okay.
Is there anything you learned from while wrestling them?
While wrestling those people?
Yeah, those people. Like you said, okay, now working with this person, I learned this now.
Yeah. I've learned to just go with it. And I've learned. I mean, I knew boundaries before, but I know boundaries now. There are certain things that can be done in the ring, and certain things that can be said in the ring, and certain things that can and cannot. And I've learned. I've gained a lot more confidence in myself and in my wrestling abilities, because when I started and when I was having my first match and when I was a few months into actually working, I couldn't call a match in the ring by myself at all. And I've just gained I've gained a lot of confidence in myself, knowing, okay, this is supposed to go here, this is supposed to go here, this is supposed to go here. And I can do that now with pretty much anybody in the ring. Just in the ring, not even call anything in the back. Okay, this is my finish, that's it. We'll figure it out there.
Mm-hmm.
So has anybody ever created you in any 2K games?
I created myself.
Which one? Which 2K? Is it 2K19?
2K20.
Oh, dang it. Because
Yeah.
I almost bought 2K20 and then I found out how bad the errors were and I never bought it. So I have 2K19. I was about to say, if you're in it, I'll download you to my game. Because I was on my phone looking through all our guests, and every one of them not in it. And then we find from London, England, Kiara. And then we had Shorty. That's another one. There's actually another promotion. If you ever travel to London, England, look up. What's it? Country? What are they called? Something pro wrestling. What was it again?
What?
CPW.
Coventry Pro Wrestling.
Coventry Pro Wrestling. They're good stuff. Good wrestling promotion. Even though
they're coming out our podcast too in November.
Yeah, the one of the big people. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get overseas. I think it'd be so much fun to wrestle over there because, once again, the style of wrestling, it's the same, but it's different. And I want to be able to experience every type of wrestling out there so I can put my knowledge, so I can take that, not all of it, but like take some of that and incorporate that into my matches as well. Just to, to be able to do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, 100%. It's like you want to be able to expand yourself everywhere you can. Like in wrestling, you just can't be like, okay, I'm gonna be American style, that's it. But if you go somewhere else, you can learn how to do lucha. You can do like the British style, the
Japanese strong style.
Japanese strong style, you know?
Yeah.
We
Joshi wrestling too, even. Joshi wrestling.
Yeah, Joshi style. What was it that we had on our? Oh, we had from London, England. We actually had Echo Reed.
Okay.
And she does strong style wrestling. It's like
British strong style, right?
Yeah. She's it's funny because when you like you start a podcast like we do, like as I said, we started off this doing the reviews and not knowing anybody, and now we pretty much like we like know all different types of wrestlers. We know like luchadors, we know like everything. It's so funny. Like just think about it. A year ago today, me and Geek were just talking on the phone talking about wrestling. Now we talk to wrestlers online.
Yeah.
I find that amazing, and like it's so cool to be able to meet a wrestler like you and stuff like that, and just know that you're gonna make it. And like, what is like to have you felt that moment yet in the ring? Like, you know, you made it.
I think I've had moments where I've felt like I could have made it, but I haven't had that moment yet. I wish I have, but I don't think I'll be able to feel that moment until I make it big and be like, wow, this is it. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of had that moment when I was at Impact, even though I'm just an extra. I had that moment kind of like, wow, I'm here. You know, this is home. But like I said, I'm not wrestling on the show. So it's kind of like I'm here, but not quite yet.
You will be there. I think you'll be there.
You'll be there. You have a good wrestling style. Actually, do you actually have that clip of you doing the move you went off the split-legged the Bronco Buster on your phone? Because if you do, you could send it to us in a clip on your Instagram. We could post it after the show.
The X Factor?
Yes.
Springboard X Factor? Yeah.
When the show's over, can you send it to us so we could post it on the
Yeah.
Cool, because we love posting like stuff like that to help the wrestlers get their moves set out. There's people like, as I said, we have wrestlers from England watching us on our show, and they follow us so they could see you and be like, that's a good, you know what I mean, like that. Even though that kind of spoils your own finishing move, somebody else, Thieves. You'll be watching England.
You'll be watching someone from England, and they'll be like, damn it, that's my move. Right?
That's the fun thing about wrestling is there. Okay, well, I mean, this isn't the fun part, but there are some wrestlers out there that steal other wrestlers' moves. But with me, I'm inspired. I don't take their full move. I try to, when I train or when I try to do the move, I take their full move because then I'm like, okay, I can do it because they can do it like this, and this is how, and then once I get the move mastered, then I try to make it my own. Just like with the Springboard X Factor, I was just doing like a regular jumping X Factor, and then I was working on doing springboards off the rope, and Crazy Steve from Impact was actually, he was training us at a few training sessions, and he's like, okay, how about you try this, this, and this, come off the rope, spin, grab them, boom, X Factor.
Yeah, like you know who the original the originator of the GTS is? It's not CM Punk.
Oh, the go to sleep, was it? No, it wasn't John Cena, was it?
No, it wasn't. It was Kenta.
Okay, yeah.
CM Punk actually in the Indies had a move called the Pepsi Plunge. It was like a top rope pedigree where he'd do the pedigree from the top rope. Yeah. So that was his finisher. And I don't think he could have done that in WWE. So he tried something else. So he probably saw Kenta's match and said, that looks interesting. Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah.
Do you do any submission moves? Because I could think of a submission finisher for you, the Northern Lights.
Oh, I like the Northern Lights. I do have a submission move. Again, I haven't done it in the ring. But it's my own version of the Black Widow because I love AJ Lee. So it's my own version of the Black Widow, except it looks more like a crucifix. Yeah. And then there's certain ways where when they're passed out on the ground, I can just roll around them and get them into something else. Or there's a way that I can get into it through doing like a tornado or a tilt-a-whirl into locking it in. So yeah, I haven't come up with a cool name for it yet. So if you have any suggestions.
I'm trying to think of another, like a space age name that you
blast
could
off. I don't know. Something. Well,
Yeah.
Scary. It has to be something scary. The launching pad.
Ooh. I like that.
See, I'm a writer and I like to draw, so like my names of certain things come. Wait. Yeah, I think we have a
favorite tag team.
Yeah, favorite tag team.
Favorite tag team.
You don't say Rock and Roll Express. He's probably watching.
He's probably
No,
watching.
I'm not gonna say the Rock and Roll Express. I should, because if Ricky watches this, he's gonna be like, "Why am I not?"
He's like, "Why didn't you say Rock and Roll Express?"
Yeah.
Did you tell?
Honestly, I really liked. Believe it or not, they're very underrated, but I really liked Air Boom. Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne.
Yeah,
I really liked Air Boom. But I think my all-time favorite tag team is probably Edge and Christian.
Can't go wrong with the classics right there. Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ricky, but
he's probably watching this and probably like, yeah, I'm not coming on your podcast now.
Yeah. He's like, I want nothing to do with you now. I'm not your favorite wrestler.
You come out of the locker room all ready to go to train, and he'll be like, "What do you think you're doing?"
Yeah.
You
said Edge and Christian?
What? Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Did you? I didn't know this, but during the Rock and Roll Express, during their induction ceremony or whatever, some of the people from SOM actually got to go. I wasn't wrestling yet, so I couldn't go. But some of the wrestlers and the owners of the SOM building actually got to go, and they met AJ Styles. And AJ Styles was freaking out when he met Ricky Morton, because he said that Ricky Morton is actually one of his biggest inspirations. So to me, knowing that, because AJ Styles is my favorite male performer currently, that just like, I was like, wait, what? Like, I'm being trained by AJ Styles' favorite wrestler?
What?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. That's amazing, you know? And he's a legend, you know, so in the business, so.
Yeah.
Here we go. My next question. If you had to bring back one professional wrestler that's currently retired to have one more match with them, who would it be and why?
He's retired.
Yeah.
Beth Phoenix.
I have a funny story about me and Beth Phoenix.
Oh, I'm listening.
I want to hear this one too.
I went to a show in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania with my buddy, and we were at the show. At the show, Beth Phoenix messed up her nose. So after the show, we're like at a hotel parking lot, and people are signing autographs and saying hi. And I went to say hi because I'm friendly and I'm a hugger. So I went to hug her, and before I did this, I was like, "Oh, you got a boo-boo?" She's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Come here," and I gave her a hug. And I'm a hugger, so my face went on her cheek, and I kissed her on the cheek. And I felt stupid, and I backed up, and I was like, and she gave me the look she gave Santino when she was mad at him all the time. That, and I was like this. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And she did this. You're good. Good thing you're cute.
Oh.
I was so scared. I was like, I'm gonna die. But I was like, Beth Phoenix, the Glamazon told me, good thing you're cute.
Yeah.
She signed my SmackDown cover too.
I mean,
I got scared. I was scared. I thought I was about to die. I was so nervous. I'm like, Edge's wife just like told me, good thing you're cute. Like,
that's a warning. Yeah, that's a warning.
I got a warning shot right there.
Yeah.
Geek, you next.
I'm done.
No, you said you had a story.
I didn't have a story. No, I said I know. I told you that that I never heard this story before.
Oh, you never heard? Oh, I thought I told you that one.
No, you never told me that story. So you name dropped it.
That one. I keep that one locked away because it kind of sounds bad because it's like me hugging a wrestler I don't know. But she got hurt during the show. She messed up her nose. She was bleeding. Like she won the match, but she started bleeding, and I was like, oh my god.
Just the natural instinct to go and comfort that person. Yeah.
Yeah, I said you got a boo boo, and she did. She's like, yeah, and I was like, can I be a hug? And she's like, okay. And my face was right by her cheek, and I'm not gonna like. I don't know why I went in for the kiss on the cheek, but my face was right here, so I like the instant, you give someone a hug, your cheek to cheek.
Yeah.
And then I felt bad. I felt guilty after I did it. I was like, okay, I'm done.
What's your pre-match warm-up like?
My pre-match warm-up?
Yeah.
Of course, usually on the way there, I'm listening to like my pump-up playlist. And then I warm up in the ring a little bit before the show starts to make sure I'm warm and I'm not like too tense or too sore when I get in and do stuff. And usually in the back, like right before I'm going out with my entrance and everything, I'm, doing jumping jacks or doing squats or, just pumping myself up.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years, you'd say?
Where do I see myself in 10 years?
Yeah.
Wherever God allows me to go. I'm hoping it's WWE or AEW, but wherever I'm at is where I'm at, and I'm okay with that. As long as it's wrestling.
Yeah.
Who would you say the future of the business is, like, as of right now, like in AEW, WWE?
My future in the business?
No, I'm saying, like, who would you say, like, currently, like, who would you say is, like, the future in WWE or AEW?
Oh, AEW.
I'm saying, like, who?
Who in AEW?
Or WWE, yeah.
Or WWE. For WWE, I honestly think Rhea Ripley is the future.
Uh-huh.
For AEW, I feel like it could be Jungle Boy.
Jungle Boy.
Wow. Did we just become best friends? Because I said I'm not a fan of AEW, but I like his style.
He loves Jungle Boy, Joe.
His music. I was at an event for people with disabilities, and that song came on like 3 or 4 times, and I was jammed to it. I was doing.
You could sing that song. That song is catchy. I think Chris Jericho's Judas song is catchy.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there doing like the quagmire on my neck the whole time. I was just like, that song could come on and like you'd be mad, and then that comes up. That's me on the podcast. I'm the dancer. I like that.
We ramble on the podcast too, so it's kind of like
we ramble. We talk about food. We talk about pets. We talk about our lives, and we talk about mistakes.
Yeah.
Like that.
Do you have a favorite movie or
a favorite movie?
Yeah. So.
What genre?
What genre?
Comedy.
Step Brothers.
Oh gosh.
Horror.
Horror.
Yeah.
The original Halloween.
Oh yeah. Drama.
Oh gosh.
You stumped her, Joe.
The Notebook. The Notebook.
Yeah, that's the mod's favorite movie too.
Yeah. I cry every time, but I'm okay with that. Sometimes you need a good cry.
Yeah. I just cry randomly when I talk about how
action.
Action. Here we go. So, favorite action movie.
Action. Any movie with Chris Evans.
Yeah. And then obviously the favorite genre is sci-fi.
What's your
Star
favorite?
Wars.
Star Wars.
Oh,
You can hang out geek all day.
You can hang out the mod.
Yeah, I hate Star Trek with a passion. I can't do it.
Jeez. Come in the geeks apartment. There's Rylee Rockett hanging out with the mod, just crying on the couch with all the tissues. Guys, you're gonna have to get your own dinner. Get tacos for us, okay?
Yeah, like I can't stand Star Trek. Star Wars, I'm obsessed, but Star Trek, absolutely not. I can't.
There's Baby Yoda right there.
Yeah, I actually haven't finished watching The Mandalorian.
We stopped. My dad's like, eh. But we watched. There's a series. There's a series on Netflix called Atypical. Have you ever heard that series? It's about a kid with autism, living how he lives his life. Yes, it's a really good series. Michael Rappaport is the dad.
Okay.
It's now officially, this is the 4th and final season. I watched it for 3 seasons. It's one of the best series you can watch. It's called Atypical.
Okay. Yeah, I'm watching Supernatural right now on Netflix.
That's a good show.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with like crime, and this sounds weird, but I'm obsessed with crime and forensics and, murder. It sounds weird, and I don't mean for it to sound weird, but I'm actually going to school for criminal psychology, so that kind of stuff just fascinates me.
That's cool. Everybody has their own thing. Like I find the weirdest things interesting. Like I'm really into the paranormal, and like old buildings always where I live in Pennsylvania. I live in like a really small town, like one stoplight, and there's a lot of interesting old buildings in there. Sometimes I walk into a building and I go, yeah,
this is haunted. Yeah,
this is haunted. This place is haunted.
Yep.
I think. Yeah. There's a museum that's in my town. The Columns Museum actually has the flag that they draped over Lincoln's face when they assassinated him.
I don't know if I'd be able to handle that emotionally.
Yeah, we went to there's a ghost tour in my town in October.
Okay.
And they let you go in this building and has all this like old knickknacks, and I'm because I'm Mr. Ghostbuster. I went in my flight suit and I'm standing by the stairs, and there's a spirit of a woman in an old outfit that's in the building. I'm standing by the stairs waiting for my friend. It's not a windy day. It's the middle of October, and this big, heavy gust of wind just comes flying past me, like up toward the stairs.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was doing looking around all tough, looking funny, huh? Ghostbusters, yeah, nice. I'm just like this. My eyes went from this to.
Yeah.
I went out that door so fast. I would have been fired by the Ghostbusters.
Yeah. My training school is actually haunted.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I have friends that I wrestle with that actually go ghost hunting, and we haven't gone ghost hunting at SOM yet, but I'm trying to convince them to bring their equipment, and then we'll go ghost hunting together.
You should definitely, because there's certain ways you could do it. Either leave a camera and walk away. Leave the camera, walk away, or leave the tape recorder in the middle of the ring or wherever you leave it, and just ask a question and then leave, so they could hear your question and answer you.
Well, I mean, even when my mom was there, like she's heard just random bumps. Like we have 2 rings in our training school, and one bump is just like we just hear random bump, and nobody's even near the rings. It's the last 2 people there, so we're kind of like, oh my gosh. But yeah, no, it's haunted. We've heard screams coming from walkie-talkies. We've heard the clanking of weights from downstairs in the basement moving, and yeah.
So have you guys had fans at your shows lately, or has it just been like you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
What's your first match like in front of a crowd?
My first match in front of a crowd was actually at a fair show, and it was in front of like 500 people. It was scary and intimidating, but it was the first ever all women's match at SOM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you get recognized in public or?
Yeah, I did. I don't know. I don't know if you can see it, but there's me, and that's actually the picture that was in the front of the newspaper. It's me putting somebody in a Boston Crab. That was the first ever women's match at the fair.
That's
Wow.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
So people, if you're like in the supermarket, people actually recognize you, or
Some of them actually, yes. Like, I work at Chick-fil-A, and I have some people come through the drive-thru, and they're like, "You look familiar." And I was like, do you watch professional wrestling? And some of them are like, yeah. What have I seen you on? I was like, well, I'm a Swingerella on Impact. I wrestle at SOM, so you've probably seen me on there.
That's
So
crazy.
they're like, yeah, I've seen you in person before. And I was like, oh, okay, hi, it's nice to meet you, you know.
I have a funny question. What do you think about the whole thing Virgil did to Hogan's daughter?
I don't think I'm aware of what happened.
You didn't hear what happened? He was out somewhere. What was that at? Where was it, Geek? He was at some kind of like event, I think. Virgil was at an event, and Brooke was there, and Brooke wanted to take a picture with him. She took a picture of him. He charged her $20 to take a picture.
Brooke Hogan?
Yeah. You didn't hear that?
That's insane. I do know some wrestlers that charge, some indie wrestlers that do charge for selfies and for phone pictures, but I think that's kind of silly. Because if they're going to buy a phone picture, they might as well just buy a picture that you have printed out already. I don't feel like there's a need for them to pay to get a picture on their phone. Like,
if you make it to WWE or Impact, you'll be like, guys, sorry, $30 for this interview.
What?
$30 an hour.
That's the one thing I'm scared about having Al Snow, because he just told me, sure, no problem, I'll come on this date. And my friends are like, one of the guys in the past episode said, what would you do if he did the whole interview and then he emailed you the thing, the invoice? I'll be like,
yeah.
I'll be heartbroken because he didn't tell me he was charging us. I'd be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, be like, I'm doing this for your recognition, not, you know, to pay you.
This is why we do this, because we love helping independent wrestling and independent wrestlers any way we can.
Even if they never make it to WWE, it's like they see you on our show, like they say, I'll look her up, I'll buy a shirt from her or something. You know what I mean? It's spreading the word out there. So
right.
And we love helping, and like you can even tell the promoter for your you can tell Ricky, you can even tell the guy the promoter for your company to come on our podcast so we could talk about your promotion so it gets the name out there, you know?
Yeah.
And tell the other people in the locker room, hey, dudes at ringside, I just did an interview with them. Go on their Instagram, hit them up. Even though we're sort of booked till 2022 right now.
Oh, that's so good though.
Yeah, we're getting people, so it's
we're
like
squeezing people in like a train in Japan. We're squeezing people in like get it. Like Geek is mad at me.
No, I am mad at him because he says, "Can we squeeze this wrestler?" And I'm like, "Dude, we have no dates left. We could squeeze them in." I'm like, "Come on." He's like, "They need us." I'm like,
next Friday, Rylee, he wants to kill me and hide the body under the house. We have 5 interviews in one day. Yes,
Good.
that's yeah. He wants to hide the body.
It started off with 3 interviews in one day, and then Joe said, "I'm like, where did all these interviews come from?" I added them to Friday.
You what? I was like, but like gives us excuse to eat tacos and talk to wrestlers on their couch.
Yes.
Yeah, but not in one day.
No.
You spread it out.
It'll be like a mukbang or something.
Yeah, man.
It's like you want to spread things out because otherwise the show's going to become oversaturated. You don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's how Raw is. 3 hours. How many times do people complain that you have Raw, SmackDown, NXT? There's too much wrestling, and then everyone complains about it. But yeah, you just did that, Joe. Let's cram dudes at ringside in one day, right?
Okay. It's funny, during the middle of our show, we haven't had this now, but like we were doing interviews, and now Geek is connected to the page, so we'll be talking, and all of a sudden here, bloop bloop on his end, because wrestlers are messaging us on Instagram, and he was wondering. But it's bad because his phone now makes the blue loop sounds. Blue loop, blue loop.
During the stream, yeah.
I told Geek when I go to his house next week, I said, we're going to put our phones in his bedroom so the phones don't make any sense. So I'm not doing my typical Joe. Like, I have a tendency to, I'm like the MJF of the show. I'm like, I shouldn't be looking at my phone, but there's a few wrestlers from OVW. I don't know if you know of Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We tried to get her, but she didn't message me back. I know she probably gets a billion DMs and messages.
Probably, yeah. I actually just met her on Saturday. I was just at an all-women's show. So I got to meet her there. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you speak to her in passing, tell her Dudes at Ringside Podcast has been trying to get in touch with you, and they want to see if you want to get an interview in the coming future. We would love to. We were trying to get a few girls, but some of them, like, they've been busy, so one didn't get back to us, but we had her, and she just disappeared. Ghosted us.
Yeah.
She disappeared on us. Didn't even tell us that she didn't want to do it. We were signed on, everything. And the week before the show, she just disappeared. Poof, gone. I was like, how do you do that? You signed on. Maybe she got it. Maybe she got it. Like, I don't know. Like, go, oh no, everything just opened up. I don't know. Just, I don't know how to get it to go away now, Geek. Oh, you always want to live. Rylee, if you have to go, we could totally understand.
Okay. Yeah, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I gotta get some sleep before that.
Okay, no problem.
Thanks for coming on, right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun.
We definitely love to have you come back in the future.
Yes.
Maybe you'll win a title when you come back.
Yeah, I actually do have a title in Arkansas, but
really?
Yeah.
Do they let you bring it home with you, or do you have to get back to the promoter? You did, okay.
Yeah, but I have to go get it fixed when I go back down there because the belt doesn't fit. Right?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I have to get like the adjustments on the sides so it'll fit around my waist. I've got a small waist, but like this is like smaller than child size.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
So, if you had, also 2 more things before you go. If you're in a rivalry, would you like to call out anybody?
I do not have a rivalry right now.
And
well, you were in a match with a girl that was on our podcast. So, do you want to say hi to the crazy little Trixie before you go?
Hi, Trixie.
There you go.
I mean, I get to wrestle her again in Arkansas, so I get to relinquish my title and keep my title. She's going to fight for it, but she's not going to get it, so.
Ooh, we got to remember that. Get that clip so you can show Trixie on July 30th. Do you want to send her a message so we can send it to her before you go?
Just watch out. This title is mine. Here it is. Look at.
There it is.
There it is.
There's the title.
Heavyweight Championship, FWA Freelance Wrestling Alliance in Prescott, Arkansas.
Dudes at Ringside, the home of the champions.
No, I have to say it because you sound you say it not fun. It's Dudes at Ringside Podcast, the home of champions.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Rylee gets the
girl that comes on a podcast so far has been a champion.
Yes, it's like
Really?
almost everybody.
Yeah.
My dad makes fun of me. He goes, Randy, that's the real name, Randy. Randy, I go, oh, I have this champion, that champion. He goes, do you ever have anybody that's not a champion, that's a jobber? And then I kind of like shrugged my shoulders and I was like, not really. Then I went, oh, kind of horrible to say this.
Yeah.
We've had little mean Kathleen from Boston. She doesn't win her many matches. Poor girl.
Okay.
But she's a good wrestler, little mean Kathleen. You
Yeah.
and her.
She's a super nice person.
Oh, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's only you could try following little mean Kathleen.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll
Anything
let
you want to plug?
Anything you want to plug before you run off?
Just watch me every Sunday on SOM 505 Live. Keep watching Impact on Thursdays, and you might see me. I don't know when, but you might see me. Also, follow me on Instagram, Twitter. It's at Rocket Rylee. And then also, if you ever tag me in a post or whatever, use the hashtag Year of the Rocket.
Year of the Rocket. All right, I got to remember.
Good luck in Impact. Hopefully they sign you. Fingers crossed. Right?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Bye.
That was fun.
That was a fun interview, Joe. That was a fun interview.
Doesn't matter how many people watched it. We know.
We're blasting back into Earth now. Earth's atmosphere.
Yeah, going back down to Earth.
So we're all right, Joe. Let's take it away back to Earth now.
All right.
The ship has landed, right?
say your goodbyes, friendy.
All right, you guys could always donate to us at http://streamlabs.com/dudes@ringside, http://streamlabs.com/dudes@ringside. And remember, it's like, I want to thank everybody, Rylee, Rockett for coming on our show, Tamaku for stopping in,
Threatening our guest.
wanting to fight her.
Threatening our guest. Tamaku, you maniac. She's harmless. She's a star girl. Oh, we didn't mention that the girl from Scotland is a star girl too. Oh God, Galaxy Battle. The Galaxy Battle.
All the galaxies, right?
Oh jeez.
All right, Joe. If you want to end the show, we can end it.
Well, thank you so much to Rylee Rockett for coming on our podcast. That was so cool. Just check her out. She's cool. She's got so many good moves. Go on YouTube, watch her stuff. She's from Galaxy Far, Far Away, and she's so awesome. Trained by a legendary wrestler from the tag team. And I would like to say thank you guys, as always, for coming to watch, kind of hang out with us at ringside. You guys, tell your friends. Please tell your friends to follow us on everything you can, and even make sure you check us out on any social media you can, and anywhere you find a podcast.
It helps us out. It helps us out a lot.
If you want to donate, do it. You don't have to. Just hang out with us.
But just follow us. That's free.
Follow us. Follow us on iHeartRadio. Don't forget that.
Spotify, everything.
And thank you to my grandfather. Thank you to my cousin. Thank you to my uncle's godfather for lighting the way for all Latino wrestlers. See you Thursday.